Hi friends, late chairman of Suzlon Energy, Mr. Tulsi Tanti, became billionaire back in 2008 when Suzlon Energy share used to trade at close to 700 rupees per share. And at that time, Suzlon Energy used to be world's fifth largest wind turbine manufacturer. However, in 2012, Suzlon failed to pay its debt raised through the bonds and therefore lost its market cap by close to 95%. And as you can see from my screen, from a darling of a stock exchange, it actually became a penny stock. However, in the last 1 year, tides are turning over and the stock has given multi-bagger returns. It has given close to 363% returns in just last 1 year. In this video, you are going to learn business moat of Suzlon Energy, the exact business model, their strength, key risks and the valuation of this stock, and many other things that no one on YouTube is talking about. So a simple like to this video and a comment saying thank you will motivate me to do more research and come back and come up with a lot of good videos for you. With that, let's get this video started. People are buying Suzlon Energy stock without even understanding what does Suzlon Energy as a company actually do. So let me quickly clarify what they do. What you see on my screen is that their first business segment is that they manufacture wind turbine generators, WTG, and what you see on the screen is that they started from smaller turbine and they have now evolved their turbines to become really big turbines generating lot of energy. So how much of money they are actually making by making these wind turbine generators? So for that, let us go into their financial statements, and you see the first 6 months of 2023-2024, they did 2,765 crores of overall revenues, out of which if you look at the WTG division, they have done close to 1,679 crores from manufacturing the wind turbine generator. So that is close to 60%. So meaning 60% of their revenues are coming from manufacturing the wind turbine generators. The second key segment from business revenues and profitability perspective is, if you look at their website, you will see that they also do something called as operations and maintenance services. So they manufacture these wind turbine generators and they actually operate them in the wind farms. They actually maintain them. If there are any faults, etc., they will fix them. Also, they service them regularly. So all in all, OMS is also one of their business segment. In terms of the revenues, let us see how much of revenues they are generating. So if you look at the numbers, OMS division is generating close to 858 crores out of the 2,700 that we saw. So if we do the simple maths, we will come to close to 30%, meaning 30% of their revenues are coming from operations, maintenance and servicing these wind turbine generators. So 90% of their business revenues are coming from manufacturing the wind turbine generators, and remaining 30% are coming from operating, maintaining and servicing these wind turbine generators. Now, one of the simple reasons that why Suzlon Energy stock is a buzzing stock right now is because of the industry it operates in. If you look at the global energy forecast, we are going to see that by 2050, wind and solar are going to occupy the major share in the energy needs. So oil and gas, for example, the fossil oils are on the dying trend, while wind and solar are the two sectors that are going to pick up big time as per the global energy prediction. Also, I was reading Suzlon's annual report and page number 22. What they're talking about is that government of India has set a target that by 2030, 50% of India's energy needs need to be met by the renewable sources such as wind, solar, etc. And out of that, 20% needs to be fulfilled by the wind energy. So people looking for long-term investments, renewable sector is a sunrise industry. There is a lot of growth that is going to come up in the next few years. And one of the other stocks that I personally hold is SJVN, which I talked about on my YouTube member community with an exclusive in-depth analysis. Very similar analysis that I'm doing right now for Suzlon is what I did for my YouTube member community. And if you're interested in such detailed analysis, you can consider subscribing to my YouTube member community, because it is always not possible for me to create videos for these analysis. But coming back, one thing that we know is that wind and solar are the two sectors that are looking like a sunrise sectors because of the push by Indian government. Let me now walk you through the financials of this company, because if you are investing in any company without understanding their financials, then what you're doing is you are gambling. You are not really investing, you are gambling. So before you ever invest, make sure you're reading the financials of any company. So for that, let us go to page number 20 of their recently quarterly results that they published. And if you look at the revenues here, that from FY21, the revenue jumped twice, almost from 3,200 crores to 6,500 crores. In FY23, the revenues came down slightly. And now the first half year of this 23-24 fiscal year, they are running at close to 2,700 crores of run rate. And if you look at the remaining half of this year, if we double this 2,700 crores, it comes out to be 5,400 crores. So the revenue may seem that they're declining, but the important thing is that if you go to page number 6 of their earnings transcript, you will see that their CEO is saying that typically the second half of the year generates more revenues than the first half of the year, and it could be typically 60 to 70% of their revenues coming from the second half of the year, not the first half of year. So if we go with that logic, what we can see is that their revenue for 23-24 is likely to be somewhere around 9,000 crore rupees. Again, nobody can guarantee it. What we're trying to do is learn the art of forecasting and anticipation, so that based on the forecast of revenues and profitability, we can make an assessment if the share price is going to go up or not. Because when the companies publish good results, this is what even the mutual fund investors, the institutional investors do. Whenever the companies are going to give better revenues and profitability quarters, then the share prices are likely to go up. We are trying to understand that game here, right? So from my forecast and anticipation perspective, their revenues are likely to be somewhere around 8,000 to 9,000 crore this year. I could be totally wrong. It is just a forecast. Let us move to the second important thing in this chart, and what you see is the profit after tax. The profitability is what really matters. And if we see that up to year 2022, the company were making huge losses, but the losses were reducing gradually if you see up to 2022. And from 23 onwards, the profits have increased. And more importantly, if you see fiscal year 2023, they did 167 crore rupees of profit after tax. But in the first half year of 23-24, they are already running at 230 crores. So although the revenue run rate looks low at the minute, but the profits are looking pretty good for this year ending. The third thing that you will note is the gross debt here. And what you will notice is that fiscal year 20 onwards, their debt has massively reduced, and the company is at right now at almost zero debt. One of the biggest problem with the company back in 2012-13 was that they were not even able to pay the interest on their debt raised through the bonds. And this is why the company was at the verge of bankruptcy 10-12 years ago. Right now, they have learned from their mistakes and they have reduced their debt massively. They are looking like a debt-free company right now. You may have a natural question at this point in time that Rahul, their debt is very low now, their profits are looking good, but where is the revenue growth going to come from the next 2 to 3 years perspective? So if you go to page number 15 of their earnings presentation, you will see that their order book right now is 1613 megawatt. What does this translate to in terms of revenue? So if we again go back to their earnings presentation, what we are likely to see is that page number 9 there, they are saying that per megawatt revenues you can realize is around 6 crore rupees. So if we multiply 1613 by 6 crores, we are going to come to close to 10,000 crores. My point is simple. They are running right now with an order book of 10,000 crores. Pretty much next 1 year's revenues that we see in terms of run rate, they have orders in their order book. And this, as an investor, may give me a lot of confidence that there is going to be a revenue growth, there is going to be a profitability growth, and the debt is really low. It's a good picture overall. Guys, no one is talking about this level of detail on the YouTube. So if you're liking this video, humble request you to press the like button. Let me know in the comments a simple thank you. It will motivate me to do further research for you and bring you lot of quality content at zero cost. Also, if we quickly look at their balance sheet, you will see that their reserves are all-time high now. If you look at the last 15 years, this year, September 2023, the reserves are at 690 crores, while earlier they had no reserves. And if you look at the borrowings as well, as we talked about, the borrowings right now is all-time low, 146 crores. And this is one of the reasons Suzlon stock is buzzing in the news. It has gone from merely 8 to 9 rupees per share to 40 rupees per share in this year. But more importantly, what this less borrowing does is that their financing cost, their interest will come down, and that will have a big improvement in their profitability. And I'm not making it up. Have a look at this page number 5 of their earnings presentation, and what their CEO is saying that they have already seen a substantial reduction of 60% in their finance cost. last quarter, and the full benefit of this debt reduction is going to come in the Q3 of FY24. So the next quarter, when they publish their results, their finance cost is coming down drastically because of low debt. And what that will do, that will increase their profits to a great degree, meaning that investors will be crowding to buy this share in the next few quarters. Before I continue to talk good things about Suzlon Energy, let me put a very big disclaimer that it is not a promotion by Suzlon, because I generally get trolled for talking good things about a particular stock. Don't worry, I will talk about the risks associated with this stock as well. But please understand, I never promote any specific stocks, any specific mutual funds, any specific insurance policies. I don't do any of that. I'm going to simply present to you unbiased opinion on all these products, and people who can see it through, they are going to support me. Like this video and also let me know in the comments a simple thank you. And the trollers will always be there. I am not worried about them. I will continue to do the good work and publish my independent opinion on this channel. With that, let us move to another 4 to 5 key strengths of Suzlon Energy. The business moat is what I call about Suzlon Energy. Number 1, page number 11, what their CEO is saying is that Suzlon Energy right now have the largest number of masts and the largest wind data available. Masts are the tower, and they gather the data about wind speed, the seasonality, the site, and many other things. And what that data does is that they are able to understand which sites are good for wind farms or not, and accordingly they can take positions into the EPC projects, engineering, procurement and construction projects, where basically they are building the wind farms from end to end. So availability of this data is one of the business moat that the company carries. Second business moat, page number 12, if you read, what their CEO is saying is that right now within the wind sector, there are not many players who are doing the EPC business, which is end-to-end setting up a wind farm or a facility where the wind energy can be generated. Suzlon Energy seems to be the only one right now. Again, this seems to me from an EPC business perspective, a monopoly stock. Strength number 3 that I see in this company is their leadership team. So Mr. Tulsi Tanti, who is no more, actually spent his entire life building the Suzlon Energy, and now his brothers have taken over, and all of these guys are 30 years, 40 years of experience. And from expertise perspective, from a leadership perspective, I don't think there are any big gaps right now. Number 4, as you see on my screen, they have built their presence in the most windy states in India. And what does this do? This gives them a lot of edge over the other competitors because they understand which are the good sites, which are the bad sites from the wind perspective. Lastly, page number 49, you will see that they have manufactured more than 12,700 plus wind turbines, and they are right now capturing close to 33% of India's market share. Overall, operationally, the company is looking really good. However, there are few risks with this company that we need to understand. Let me present it to you. Let's talk about the risks now. So if we go to the shareholding pattern, we will see that promoters' stake has been diluted from December 2020 continuously. From 17%, it is now at 13%. And more importantly, if we see the public and the retail holding in the company is actually running at 65%. And now this is a big risk, because whenever the majority of the shares are held by retail or the public, what happens is that there is a huge volatility in the stock, because whenever people are making money or booking profit, they are going to dump the stock or sell off the stock. So within a day, you might see that Suzlon Energy has fallen by close to 10%, 12%. So people who are not able to withstand such a volatility, this stock is not for you, because there are going to be days and weeks where the stock will fall all of a sudden to 10%, 12%, because some of the other big shark has actually sold off their stakes in the company and have exited the stock. So that risk is there from a short-term volatility perspective. Risk number 2 is, if we go to page number 116, you will see that the business tariffs of the wind energy may fluctuate. So it has been running at a low of ₹2.43 per unit, and this is where I say that regulations can kill the businesses, because these tariffs are not determined by the company, and if the tariffs are down, then the entire wind sector might see a fall for a short term and the stock might go down. And again, this is a risk that you need to understand. Third other big risk with this stock is that because they are manufacturing wind turbines, they are using input materials such as steel, for example, copper, glass, fabric, etc. So a lot of their profits actually depend on the commodity prices like steel price, glass price, fiber price and all that. And all of a sudden there are supply chain shocks in the market, or if the commodity prices have gone up, it is going to directly impact their profits. Nobody can predict these things. And this is what I say, if you're investing in direct stocks, Nobody can give you guaranteed returns or predictability. What you're doing is essentially you are taking a risk, but you are anticipating and calculating your risks and taking your positions based on information, not just by blindly investing in stocks because a stock has gone from A to B and let me also try to invest in that. No, that is a wrong way of investing. We got to really understand, do the analysis and take the calculated risks. So with that, these are the 3 risks that I see right now with the company. Again, in the future, there might be more risk. Let's now look at the valuation of Suzlon Energy. So the PE right now is at 98, which is extremely high. It happens typically in the growth stocks because the market is ready to pay the premium price, right? Also, if we look at the other parameters from an intrinsic value perspective, best case scenario looks like 17 rupees. This information is not my information. It is there on the internet. From a best case perspective, the share price is at 22 rupees per share. Worst case is 15 rupees. So somewhere around 15 to 25 rupees per share seems to be a fair value from that perspective. Also, if we look at from enterprise value divided by EBITDA perspective, again, not my data, available on the internet, it is going to be 6 rupees per share. Enterprise value divided by sales, 4 rupees per share. From price divided by sales perspective, 2 rupees. So from that perspective, overall, it is looking like overvalued right now, and it happens with the growth stocks. Typically, it is not a value stock right now. It is in the momentum. Again, I can't advise you what is the right price or not, but please be aware, I have given you lot of information in this video for you to make your decision. It is your money. You make the decision. Nobody can guarantee you the prices of the Suzlon Energy. If I say it is going to be 60 rupees from here, no, it may not be. It might come down to 20 rupees. So please make your own decision. From my perspective, I've done the analysis and presented to you all the facts. When I will take the positions in this stock, I share that in my YouTube member community. You can consider subscribing to that community if you want to know exactly what I am doing about this stock. I hope you enjoyed this video thoroughly. Lastly, I've also launched my new Hindi channel where I talk about current affairs, geopolitical situations, and many other interesting subjects. You will find the link in the description or in the pinned comment. Humble request, go and check it out, and if you like it, subscribe to that channel as well. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next video. Until then, keep rocking.